Library of Heaven's Path. Chapter 76, The Student Who Went Berserk. The student's cultivation going berserk was something that had already happened and cannot be changed. No matter how much you try to argue otherwise, no matter how glib your tongue is, it is all futile. Elder Shang Chen knew that no one would believe him no matter how hard he tried to explain the incident with the teacher qualification examination. Even if he were to produce the papers, others would just accuse him of falsifying the papers as well. As such, he decided to bring this entire matter out of the way for now. Zhang Xuan didn't know how to respond to his words. Are you trying to deny the incident? Biology, go and invite Zhao Yanfen from Lu Sunlishi's classroom. Elder Shang Chen said. Zhou Baiyu was the teacher on duty, whereas Zhao Yanfen was the student whose cultivation was driven berserk by Zhang Xuan previously. How did this student end up in Lu Sunlishi's class? Upon hearing Shang Chen's arrangement, everyone looked at him in puzzlement. Even Zhang Xuan was carrying a face of bewilderment. Based on the memories of his previous self, ever since that fellow's cultivation went berserk, he had never been to his class. As his previous self was too ashamed to look into the matter, he didn't know that he had gone to Lu Sunlishi's class. Besides, who was Lu Sunlishi? Hongtian Academy's #1 star teacher. Even Elder Mo had said that there was a high possibility of him becoming an associate master teacher in the future. There were countless students who wished to come under his tutelage, so why would he pick someone whose cultivation had once went berserk as his student? Upon going berserk, Zhao Yanfen's fundamentals are damaged, and originally, he had intended to withdraw from the academy. However, he was noticed by Lu Sunlishi and eventually, he was accepted as his student. After a few months of guidance and nursing, not only is the damage he sustained from going berserk gone, his cultivation has also reached Fighter 1 Danjuxi realm pinnacle, ready to break through at any moment. Elder Shang Chen said. Accepted as Lu Sunlishi's student? His luck is way too good. To be able to remove the damage he sustained from going berserk within a short period of time, even inducing a rise in his cultivation level, Lu Sunlishi is indeed incredible. Upon hearing Elder Shang's words, the crowd was astonished. Going berserk created great damage to a cultivator, and it was very easy for one's fundamentals to be wrecked in the midst of it. Cultivation was just like building a house. If the fundamentals weren't in place, it was difficult for the building to rise up high. To be able to treat the damage a student sustained from his cultivation going berserk so quickly and even pull him up to Juxi realm pinnacle, this Lu Sunlishi was indeed as formidable as the rumors put him out to be. Not too long later, the teacher on duty, Biology, returned with a student behind him. Around 16 to 17-year-old, he had a slim build, but spirited eyes. This was the unlucky student who was taught by his previous self. Zhao Yanfen. Elder Shang. Walking straight up to Elder Shang upon entering the room, he was bewildered to see so many people in here. Zhao Yanfen. Do you recognize this person? Elder Shang pointed at Zhang Xuan. Zhao Yanfen turned around and noticed Zhang Xuan. His calm face immediately became agitated. Unknowingly, he clenched his fist tightly, as though trying to suppress the rage in his heart. He is my previous teacher, Zhang Xuan. These words seemed to have been squeezed out through gritted teeth. Through his actions, it was clear to see that he still held great resentment against Zhang Xuan. However, that was to be expected. When a student learns from a teacher, he places his trust in him unconditionally. That was equal to entrusting his fate as a cultivator into his hands. If the teacher didn't take responsibility for him, that would be equal to ruining his student's entire future. His previous self caused the other party's cultivation to go berserk, nearly destroying his future as a cultivator. This made Zhao Yanfen extremely hostile against him. If it wasn't for his position as a teacher, he might have already made a move on him. I've heard that he had once caused you to go berserk. Is that true? Seeing Zhao Yanfen behaving in such a manner, delight surged through Elder Shang's mind as he continued to question him. That's true. If not for Lu Sunlashi saving me, I might already be a cripple. Zhang Yanfen said. Great. Upon hearing his confirmation, Elder Shang didn't continue posing questions to him. Instead, he turned to look at Elder Mo and Huang Yu with a savage expression. Associate Master Teacher Huang, Elder Mo, you should have heard the conversation. Let's not touch on the matter of the teacher qualification examination first. I believe that one day, the truth of the incident will come to light. Instead, let's touch on the matter of him causing the cultivation of his student to go berserk. The victim is here, and if you all have any doubts, you all can continue to question him. Despite being a teacher, he harmed his own student. Just this by itself forms the basis for his teaching license to be revoked. Huang Yu and Elder Mo looked at one another with brows tightly knitted together. What the other party said was true. The responsibility of a teacher was to clarify doubts and lead his students down the right path. Causing a student's cultivation to go berserk was one of the greatest taboo a teacher could commit. Even if they wanted to help Zhang Lishi, there was nothing that they could do. Zhang Lishi, what else do you have to say for yourself? If you feel indignant, you can argue your way out. However, you will have to get past this Zhao Yanfen first. Seeing the two of them remaining silent, Elder Shang Chen finally felt as though he had returned the humiliation Zhang Xian had caused him back to him. He turned around to look at him mockingly. So what if you were powerful? So what if you have won the Enlightenment Will trial? As long as this weakness stays with you, you will lose your teaching license. Without that amulet to protect you, I will be able to do as I please with you. Even if I were to kill you, no one will say anything. Elder Shang Chen had brought the victim over, and the victim had already ascertained it to be true. The eyes of the crowd gathered onto Zhang Xian to see how he would respond. Just when everyone thought that he would try to explain the situation and the reasons behind the incident, the young man simply shrugged and said, indignant. What do I have to feel indignant about? It is true that I caused his cultivation to go berserk. I knew that you would try to argue your way out. However, Zhao Yanfen will recount the incident back then clearly. Elder Shang Chen thought that the other party would try to defend himself, so he was prepared to refute him. However, before he could finish his words, he suddenly came to a realization and looked at Zhang Xian in disbelief. You admit to it? This. To think that you would admit to it so readily. Could it be that he had prepared something beneath his sleeves? He was already frightened of the other party at this point. After getting slapped in his face consecutively, there was already a trauma at the back of his mind. Of course I would admit to it. After all, why would I not admit to something that I have done? Zhang Xian nodded his head. Causing a student's cultivation to go berserk was a doing of his previous self. It was impossible for him to argue his way out of it. Rather than wasting time arguing about it here, he might as well just come out clean. This. The crowd was stunned. His admittance meant that all that was said were facts. If so, the teacher guild would be able to establish this case and strip him of his teaching license. Besides, driving a student's cultivation berserk wasn't something to be proud about. To speak of it so brazenly. Where did your self-confidence come from? It is good that you have admitted to it. Associate Master Teacher Huang, Elder Mo, the both of you should have heard it. As a teacher, not only does he feel no remorse over causing a student to go berserk, he even talks about it so brazenly. Such a person is unworthy of being a teacher. Shang Chen roared, but before he could finish his words, Zhang Xian stepped forward and waved his hand. Enough, how big of an issue is this for you to keep babbling on about it? You are already advanced in age, and yet you still get excited over minor affairs so easily. Aren't you worried that your heart might be unable to take it? Causing you to die just like this? You. Elder Shang Chen staggered. You are the one who gets excited easily, your whole damn family gets excited easily. Zhao Yanfen, you have been studying under Lu Sunlishi? You should have improved considerably. Come, show me your punching routine. Can't be bothered with the furious Elder Shang, Zhang Xuan turned his gaze towards the young man.